Hello, my name is Michael Garrick, and this is the PoppinCulture Podcast. Here with me is my guest, Joseph Unthank. Joseph is a real estate agent and a fitness enthusiast. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
So here at PoppinCulture, we're all about pop culture and the people that love it. And we're also about the cultures that influence pop culture. When you hear pop culture, what comes to mind?
Popcorn.
Okay.
But just Hollywood, I guess.
Okay.
Movies.
Nice.
Music.
Okay. Any like movie or actor come to mind, or just the whole thing?
Brad Pitt.
Okay.
For sure.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, he's like Hollywood royalty right now. Yeah.
He's always been Hollywood royalty, and he is a gorgeous human being.
True. That's definitely true.
And a good actor, so.
He's one of the few people on this earth that can break up with Jolie.
Jolie.
Yeah, and be like, you know what? The guy will do fine.
Oh, he's got plenty of options, for sure.
We would not be able to say that at all if we broke up with Angelina Jolie. You'd be like, well, that's the mountain.
Yeah, that would be a pretty dark time.
Yeah. It's like it's probably going nothing but south from here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know you're really big on sports, and the sport that you really love is basketball.
Oh yeah.
So I thought we would talk about basketball, how it's influenced pop culture, and also how it's influenced other cultures. So how did you fall in love with basketball? What was your first basketball memory?
My first playing or
both?
Watching both. So playing was, I used to play in my cul-de-sac at my house a lot. And then I played for my church, First Pres, through like elementary school.
Okay.
And middle school, and that was really fun. I also played for my homeschool team in middle school and high school.
As a joke?
No, I did.
So homeschool has a league?
Yeah, they do.
What was the name of your team?
Providence Athletic Club.
Yeah, the mascot?
The Panthers. We were the Pack Panthers. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to laugh.
It's a super intimidating name.
Homeschool has a league. That's great.
We would play all sorts of teams, like mostly private schools. We didn't really play public schools, but we played like Hammond, Ben Lippen.
That's not fair. Y'all played Hammond.
Hammond was a lot better than us for sure.
Yeah. I mean, no offense. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. It usually wasn't a close game against Hammond.
I bet not.
Especially since those were the years when I was playing and they had Seventh Woods, and then I forgot the other player who is.
You played Seventh Woods?
Yeah.
How bad did he beat you guys?
It was the varsity game, and I was in 9th grade, and I played on JV primarily. But our varsity team was very abysmal at that point in time. And so I can't remember the score. I know it wasn't close at all. Probably 30 points or so is my guess. But I went in with about a minute left in the game, and I had to guard Seventh Woods.
No. And
he was guarding me, of course, so every time we had the ball on offense, I would just run away from the ball because I did not want to touch it with that. He's just so much bigger, stronger. I think I weighed 100. Yeah, I weighed 130 pounds in high school or my freshman year. So he was just physically way superior, more athletic, very intimidating. So, yeah.
Yeah. I remember going to see a couple of his games, and he was definitely he was next level.
Oh, yeah.
Where did he end up going? Do you know?
He went to North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get any playing time. So he decided to transfer. He transferred to South Carolina, and this will be his first year of playing for South Carolina. Because last year he had to sit out because he transferred, so you got to sit a year. So he'll be playing this year for South Carolina.
Okay. Well, I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for him. Wow, that had to be tough. One last question about it. Like, where did you guys go to practice?
That's a good question. Our practice facility was not the best because it was when I first started playing, the head coach of the varsity team, he was actually the pastor at Westside Baptist Church,
Okay.
off, is it Leapart Road, I think? Yeah, Leapart Road. And that was the only gym that we had available to us for free. So we played there, and the funny thing is the ceilings, well, first of all, the floor was always dusty. It was so there was a lot of slippage. It was like a rubber material, very very strange. And then the ceilings were not that high, so like if you were heaving a full court shot or something, there was going to be a ceiling tile taken out for sure. So it wasn't the best facility, but we had it, and I don't even think it was regulation size for high school basketball. I think it was like smaller than normal.
Oh wow. Okay.
Just not the best place to practice, but it was a gym. We had it, so we didn't complain.
Yeah, I bet not.
Until now.
Okay.
But also we did have another practice facility once he stopped coaching. It was and also this is where we played our home games. Tri-City Leisure Center in West Columbia, which is right next door to that church. And also that is where I'm working out currently and have been for the past 6 years.
Okay.
So lots of fond memories in there.
Well, everything comes full circle.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So that's how you pretty much fell in love with basketball itself?
Well, baseball used to be my favorite sport when I was younger, until I was about, I would say 10 or 11, maybe 12. I transitioned over to basketball and really started focusing more on that just because I liked baseball, but I wasn't that good at it. I wasn't that good at basketball either, but I was much better at it than I was baseball. So I decided to switch over and test my talents in another sport and really focus on that. Also, I just like the fast-pacedness of basketball way more than baseball, just because a lot of times baseball can be a little dull, especially if you're in the outfield and nobody hits it to you the whole game.
True. That's true. That's very true. I think I've played it maybe a few times in my life, baseball, but when it comes to watching, I can watch the last three innings, but I can't watch the whole game.
Yeah.
If I watch like the last three innings and it's close, then it's like I'm the same way with NASCAR. I can watch the last 30 laps, but
NASCAR.
Yeah, I can watch the last 30 laps.
I can't watch NASCAR. It's just
you should try to gamble.
I love cars.
You should definitely try to gamble on it.
If you change it?
If you put a little money, it goes way more than taking a bunch of left turns.
I'm sure.
Yes.
I've watched a little bit of when I do watch racing, and it's not often, but I'll turn on usually F1 racing.
Yes.
Or the type of racing where they're just all in supercars
I know what you're talking
around
about.
a nice track.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy watching those, but I've actually done a simulator.
Cool. Where?
It was in December. I went to Charlotte to a car show, and my friend, he knew about a party at the McLaren dealership that was for the public. So we just go into the McLaren dealership. They have all sorts of amazing supercars. They had a McLaren Senna, I believe it's called, full carbon fiber, and that carbon fiber option is a $500,000 option. It's an option.
How much?
$500,000 option. It was a gorgeous car, incredible experience, just a room full of Lambos. There was actually an original Shelby car there. Mustang Shelby, one of the original ones, or Cobra. It was very nice. But anyways, let me get to the point. I was they had this racing simulator there that was a $60,000 setup because it has hydraulics and everything, and it's supposed to get as close to simulation as actual race because it helps train drivers. And I did that, and it was crazy how hard you had to slam on the brake when you're going around a corner. It wasn't like a normal simulator or just car game where you just like tap on the brakes and drift around the corner. You had to really put some oomph into the brake. It was pretty crazy, but it was an awesome experience. I didn't do so well because I'm not a race car driver, but it was very fun.
Nice, man. I'll definitely have to check that out. I had a VR experience in Greenville. They have like a VR arcade up there, but it's not the same experience driving as what you said. Like the turning was kind of fictional when it came to that aspect. But to get to basketball and how it's affected pop culture and affected many other cultures, I did a little research when you told me about basketball, how much it's influenced the cultures and pop culture. Basketball is like one of the few sports that's played globally.
Yep.
Like anywhere you go in the world, is a extreme chance you'll find a basketball goal, and I think that stands for that just shows how popular the sport is by itself. Like that's amazing that you can go from Alaska to I guess South Africa to Australia. Like there's a very big chance you'll find a basketball court, and that just shows how popular the sport has become. So what players would you say has changed the game of basketball throughout the years?
Well, I would definitely say a big one is, and there's a ton of them, of course, LeBron, just because you hear his name in a lot of just songs, like a lot of hip-hop rap songs. Who else? Allen Iverson.
Yes.
Big. He kind of was the reason that the hip-hop culture and rapping started integrating a lot of NBA players' names into songs. Everybody thought he was weird when he first showed up to the NBA because he was a street baller.
Yep.
There's a difference between like AAU and like organized sports and stuff like that. This man was a street baller. His handles were flashy. He had a lot of swagger in his game and off the court. He started the baggy shorts movement, very, very long shorts, in chain wearing. Big into that. So that's kind of where I feel like the NBA transitioned from more of an old school in the early to late 90s, and they started transitioning to more of the culture started changing in the NBA in the early 2000s when AI entered the league.
I extremely agree. Yeah, that's a great way you put it. I think like longer shorts started with, I want to say, close to like the early 80s, late 90s.
Yeah.
And then like with him, he did make the shorts longer. I never noticed that till you brought that to my attention.
And it just took off from there.
Yes. Which
would it's funny because they've transitioned about I'd say like 2012, 13ish, like 2014ish. That's when they started transitioning back to wearing shorter shorts again. It's kind of funny how that works.
I guess they were like, we need our knees to be free. So.
Yeah. I feel like it would make the ball harder to dribble between your legs, or make it harder to dribble between your legs because it might get like caught on your pants or something.
True, yeah.
But apparently it didn't hinder him at all.
No. Talking about basketball has affected many different culture. How do you think basketball has affected sneaker culture?
Affected
sneaker culture?
Oh, sneaker culture. It's definitely affected it. What aspect of sneaker culture?
Well, I don't know how far back you go with basketball, but believe it or not, when Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, the number one shoe for basketball was Converse. And then when around Jordan era, well, with Jordan actually, Nike came on the scene. And once Nike came on the scene, they just
over.
knocked Converse out the market.
Oh, yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things. Like Nike owes basketball everything, to be honest with you.
Yep. I mean, there's still players who have deals with like Russell Westbrook and I believe Chris Paul. They've got shoe deals with Jordan.
Mm-hmm. And Zion Williamson.
And Zion's with Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Kawhi Leonard's with New Balance.
Which was hilarious.
Yeah.
When I saw it, and no offense to anybody who wears New Balance, because I'm almost 30, so I believe in comfortable shoes. But when I saw that New Balance commercial, all I was thinking was the shoes your dad wears. Like,
Yep. He's a fun guy. That's Kawhi. He's the fun guy.
Yes. Yes. If you do a crime with Kawhi, you don't have to worry about him telling nobody.
No.
When Kawhi retires, we'll never hear from him again.
Oh no, he's probably gonna buy a private island somewhere, like off Maldives, and then just hang out there and just drop off the face of the earth.
He'll be the true legendary style. Just like, we saw him at a retirement press conference and then was never seen again. Like,
yeah, that's the way it is with Kawhi. He's a very, very quiet guy.
Yes. Even Under Armour got into the sneaker, basketball player sneaker wear. Have you seen Steph Curry's shoes?
Yeah. I don't think I've seen his new shoes, but I know what the general design is.
It has the little Bible scripture on it, I believe.
It has a what?
It has a Bible scripture on it.
I don't know what that is.
A Bible scripture?
Oh, I thought you said something about a bomb, and I was like, I definitely didn't hear him right.
No, it's a I forgot what Bible scripture it is, but
yeah, he does. I can't remember what verse it is, but that sounds right.
I believe Steph Curry has changed the game a good bit too.
Oh yeah, he's changed. I don't know how much he's influenced. Well, actually, I take that back. He has influenced pop culture because you'll hear his name in a lot of songs like Steph Curry with the shot, stuff like that. Because what he did to the game of basketball since he came in the league around 2000, I want to say 14 is when he started getting really good. And ever since then, the game of basketball has been completely changed, just in the sense that the three ball has become such a major part of the game now. It's like in the 80s, it was barely a thing of the game. Now in the 2020, it's like the main key to winning a basketball game is a three-point shot. So you have 7-footers, it would have been unheard of 20 years ago or 25, 30 years ago to hear or see a 7-footer who can shoot threes.
True.
And pass the ball decently. That is happening now a lot, and you're seeing it a lot more. So it's definitely changed the game of basketball for sure.
I think it's kind of hilarious though, because it's kind of just simple math,
Yeah,
it's simple math. If my team can hit 23s, it's a way better chance we're going to win this game. And you're a more bigger basketball fan than I am. If you hear like Stephon Marbury, do you know who that is?
He was a point guard for the New York Knicks, wasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, that was early 2000s as well.
I don't know if he won a championship in the United States in the NBA, but I know he's won a championship over in China. Do you think those both equal the same thing, those two different leagues? Or do you think the NBA here is just, I wouldn't just go with more popular, but do you think it means more to win a championship here than win one over there?
I think if you asked anybody that question, they would definitely say that the NBA matters much more, an NBA title, than whatever the league is in China is called. Just because.
I think that just answered it for us, whatever.
See,
I don't know the
what
name
it's
of it
called.
either. I have no idea.
Chinese Basketball Association. I don't know. But yeah, definitely the competition just isn't the same. Like, NBA has the best competition in the world. That's why you see when they hang their banners, it doesn't say NBA national champions or NBA champions. It says world, just says like world champions or something. Because they're the best.
You're right.
They are the best team in the world because that is the highest level of competition.
Talk about an American title.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
world champions.
yeah, world. Yeah, you know it's true. Like that's very American of NBA.
Yep. Speaking of basketball and how it's affected the culture internationally, I actually know a player. Well, I don't know him personally. I have met him one time, and I've communicated with him a lot. And I guess you could say we're boys. But
Okay,
Josh Childress. So
he's from Blythewood.
no, Josh
Okay.
Childress, no.
Thinking of somebody else.
So that's actually another good segue. That's how I kind of got started on watching the NBA.
Okay.
Is I was watching. Well, I mean, I'd watch it occasionally, but and the Phoenix Suns were my team, kind of. There's no good logical reason for that. It just I picked that team.
Okay.
But I was a full-on Phoenix fan. Once I saw, this was when we were abysmal and we were just terrible. 2011, Josh Childress, he was in our starting lineup. He quickly became my favorite player due to his large afro. I loved it. And so I started a fan page on Instagram, and he followed me. I got autographs sent from California. This was when he was still playing he was still floating around in the NBA. I think he was with the New Orleans Pelicans at the time, but he got traded, or he played for Atlanta when he first got into the league.
Okay.
In 2000, he was drafted in 2004, 6th overall, and he played for Atlanta for, I believe, 5 years or so. Could be off, but after that, he went to Greece to play basketball because they were going to pay him a ton of money. So he went over to Greece. He dominated in Greece. Came back to the NBA, was never really that great again, and actually went over and finished his career in Australia. He played for the Sydney Kings in the NBL, the National, I guess that's what it stands for, NBL, National Basketball League in Australia, but that's what it's called, the NBL. It's kind of a weird name.
Okay.
But yeah, he played there for 2 or 3 years, I believe, and he was pretty good. He definitely clotheslined somebody really hard one time, and it was pretty brutal. But
He got tick.
yes,
Okay.
He got a flagrant. I think he got ejected actually. He just the guy's running fast break, going full speed down the court, and he's going up for a layup or a dunk or whatever, and Josh Childress just coming the opposite direction and just throws his elbow into the dude's face.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up that clip. As soon as this is over, I'm gonna look that up.
It's pretty crazy, but yeah, I'm sure he got ejected. He definitely got a flagrant or something, but
Probably got fined too.
yeah, he probably. Oh yeah, I think he had to formally apologize or something, or put out an apology. So yeah, he definitely got kicked from that game. There's no way he was still in.
Okay. So, Joseph, I also know that you're a gamer. Like, you play games sometimes.
Yeah.
How do you feel about basketball games? How they evolved throughout the years?
Ooh, a big thing is like the music in the basketball game. So my favorite My favorite soundtrack, 2K soundtrack, is definitely either 2K13 or 2K11.
Okay.
Those are just super nostalgic to me, and they're good soundtracks. They actually have. Do you know who Ron Artest is?
Of course.
Okay.
He changed his name again.
Meta
right?
World Peace.
Yes.
I don't think it's that anymore. It might be something else. He's changed it a lot. He was like, yeah, he's an interesting guy. Anyways, he has on 2K11. He has one of his songs that he made is on that soundtrack, which is kind of funny. It's called "Champions" by Ron Artest. He's a rapper.
Is it good?
I actually like it.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I enjoy it. I have it on my playlist actually.
Nice. Oh yeah, it must be good then. Okay.
Yeah, and it's just nostalgic. All those nights of playing 2K11, my career, balling with Josh Childress. Josh Childress was a cheat code in that game.
All right. Nice, man.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool that he reached back out to you. You know, some people
Yeah.
never get that opportunity to talk to someone that they are fans of. So he seems like a very chill guy.
Oh, and he's very smart. He graduated from Stanford. Now he's like big into real estate investing. He's investing in this huge new. It's like an apartment complex, a super nice one, and I think it's somewhere in California. I can't remember where, but it's going to be really nice, and he's a big investor in that. So
That's I want to say it's in Rich Dad Poor Dad, but it did some just like to say without saying or like to simplify it. It's pretty much once you make money, you should never go broke. Like once you make money, you have no excuse to go broke. You can make your money work for you. So if he invests, he'll never, never have to worry about that. And he can, he can always scare people by saying he's gonna clothesline them. So
yeah.
So when it comes to movies, do you have like a few favorite basketball movies that you like?
Glory Road.
Yes.
I love that movie.
Yes.
Uh,
I forgot all about that movie. The guy from no, I'm trying to think of what scary movie the coach is in. He's in some scary movies. I can't remember now.
I can't remember who that actor is. Okay, there's like a ton of good basketball movies, and I'm just drawing a blank right now. There's one. It's like an Indiana basketball team. I forgot what was that. Maybe that was Glory Road too.
I believe it was.
I think all of them are like derived from Indiana because
Yeah.
that's like a big basketball state apparently.
Have you had a chance to see Coach Carter?
Oh yeah, I love Coach Carter. Coach Carter's a really good one too. I know there's at least one. Those two I was thinking about, but there's one more that is really good. It's a classic. I just can't think of it right now, but there's a lot of good basketball movies and football movies.
Oh yeah, like if you grew up with cable and you had ABC Family, you watched Remember the Titans so many times.
Yeah,
Like
that movie has to be one of the best sports movies of all time.
I'm not gonna lie, I've been forced to watch it with my family on ABC Family so much that even if it was a horrible movie, I wouldn't know. Like it's just programmed now after watching it so many times.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Rudy's a good one too.
Yes, very much.
I haven't seen that one in a long time. Oh, The Longest Yard.
Yeah.
That's a funny one.
The remake or the original?
Uh,
I like both.
yeah, I think I've seen. I'm thinking of the Adam Sandler one, the
Okay, that's the remake. Yeah, that was good too.
But I'm pretty sure I've seen the
Original.
I just can't bring it to mind. But
They're both good movies.
oh yeah,
Yeah. So, since I know you're a big basketball fan, do you believe that the '90s basketball players, do you think they would like beat today basketball players, or do you think that today they're just so more ahead?
Well, that's a very controversial subject for a lot of people, but I would say just due to the advancement in technology, health and fitness, they have so many trainers. They're in the they're these people are some of the most incredible athletes in the world. I mean, look at LeBron James. He's just a freak of a person. He's jacked. He's quick. He's tall. I mean, that describes pretty much everybody in the NBA. But he could be a wide receiver in football. But yeah, I just think that because of the advances in medicine, technology, just physical therapy, everything, and what we've learned, I think that today I'm just going to say the average NBA player is probably better than like 80s or 90s probably, just because they're just superior athletic wise.
I mean, I totally agree with you. The only thing I would give like the older players is that they played aggressive.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that now people don't flop, or back then people didn't flop, but it was definitely more of like they touched each other way more, if that made sense. Like,
no, the physicality, like if you watch the Bad Boys,
Yeah.
Detroit 1998, or is it 1988 Detroit Pistons team, or it's in the 80s. They were in the 80s.
I mean, even when
they won the championship
even
against the
when
Bulls.
even when AI played,
Yeah.
the Pistons still had Ben Wallace and a lot of other people.
Oh yeah, Ben Wallace.
So they were still aggressive. They just weren't as aggressive as them, but they were still like, they still
Yeah.
weren't scared to foul you. Like,
Yeah, I feel, to your point on that, I definitely would agree with you on the fact that the NBA's definitely gotten way softer since the 90s and before then.
Well,
Even the early 2000s, it was just way more rough of a game. But yeah, I think that the reffing has gotten a little bit soft. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of physical contact still, but it's just not the same level. I feel like the same level of intensity. There was just more intensity. So, I had another point. I forgot what it was. But, oh yeah, also another reason why I think that the average NBA player is just better than the average NBA player back then is the three ball. Once again, such a crucial part of the game. If you think about it, they've moved the 3-point line back, I believe, 2 feet.
Yep.
So I think it's 3 feet from where it was originally, like wherever it originally started. I think they've moved it back 3 feet.
Okay, I thought it was 2, but it may be 3. Okay.
And these guys are just, you leave them open, it's
changed the way you play
unless
defense.
it's Danny Green.
Yeah, it's definitely changed the way you play defense now.
Oh yeah, but and also that could factor into why it's may not be quite as physical. I'd say just because you don't have guys trying to get to the rim every single play, because the 3-point shot is so relevant now. But that's just my opinion. It's a very good one though.
I mean, I definitely agree. It's a good one. Like, it makes total sense.
Yeah.
When it comes to players like Vince Carter that played, I want to say he played like almost 3 decades in the league.
He got drafted in '98, right?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that would be, it's 3 decades. Yeah, because he's still playing now. Do you think
he's retiring, or he just retired?
Okay, so he made it just 3 decades. Okay,
Yeah.
The 90s, 2000 to he made it to, yeah,
A lot of decades.
yeah. So wow, that's a lot of jerseys.
Yeah.
And he never went out of the country. He stayed in the United States. He stayed in the NBA. Do you believe that's something that just goes with him, or do you think that's something that a lot of other players have done and you just don't hear about?
I think with him, he's special in that regard because he's been in the league for 20 plus years. So that is a crazy feat. Most NBA, a very small fraction of NBA players can do that. I could probably count them on one or two hands.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
definitely.
So just the fact that he was able to be in the NBA and go through that physical toll year in and year out and still play and be competitive. And he was good up until about, I want to say 4 years ago is kind of when he was still all right, but like definitely not the same. But it's just impressive, his stamina and ability to stay in the league that long, kind of like LeBron.
Yeah.
Just winning a title after, what year was this for him? His like 16th season?
16th or 17th. And I was
crazy.
reading he wants to stay in the league until his son gets in the league, which is crazy.
He could probably do it.
I mean, yeah, he spends like $1.4 million a year just on like nutrition and training and workouts, and
That's a lot of money.
yeah, I mean it pays off.
But not for him.
Oh no, he has a $1 billion contract with Nike.
His NBA contract is nothing compared to what he makes off just revenue from ads and just being him.
Yeah, they live in California.
He is a brand.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's one of the biggest things that I love about the NBA in general. A lot of companies, they are the brand. But when it comes to, I believe, the basketball, or especially NBA, they allow players to be a brand.
Yeah.
Some organizations, they'll be like, oh, this is our star player, but he's not a brand. Like, he's not bigger than the company. But when it comes to LeBron, it's like, no, that's fine. You can be a brand. You can be all these special things. Kobe, a lot of other players, Michael Jordan. You can be all these things. Just always make sure you shout us out. Yeah. You can always be a superstar with us, but you can also be a brand. And I think that's something that a lot of companies should, a lot of sports should, put to the forefront. Because if I make you a star, I'm only raising my rate up too. So now it's like, okay, you want to see LeBron? Well, he's he's only in the NBA. I think they did that with Yao Ming while he was in the NBA. Also, they really let him be his own star and not just a star in the NBA.
Oh yeah. Like it all started with Michael Jordan was really the first like big brand. Actually, no. Well, what he did with Nike and how he got his own brand Jordan, I think that was like the first time anybody had their own shoe brand with their name. I could be completely wrong, but
no, because Magic and Bird had their own shoes.
Oh, duh, yeah. Okay, well now I just feel uneducated,
but I understand where you're going. Nothing.
Like the big one that everybody knew Magic and Bird at that time, and still now, but that's the first one that pops out to me, of course, because it's Michael Jordan.
Because it's the most famous one.
Yeah,
it's a way better looking shoe too, and I'm a big fan of Converse, like humongous fan of Converse and Vans. But yeah, like if we had to go back in time and look at the first Air Jordans and the first, the Converse basketball shoes, there's no competition which one looks better.
What's your favorite basketball shoe? Not like you don't have to name a specific like.
Can you tell you the one I hate with a passion?
Yeah.
Shaq's.
Oh yeah, Shaq's were.
I grew up poor, so my mom would just buy Shaq. She would buy
ones.
No,
is that what they were called?
No, they were called Shaq's.
Oh.
And they would she would buy one every 3 months because they would only last 3 months. They would rip up, and times got better. Of course, I finally got a pair of Nikes, and but yeah, when it came to Jordans, I had it. My mom bought me a pair, and after that, I just never wanted a pair of Jordans. I just realized I'm big on money, so I was like, I can buy 3 pairs of Converse for this same pair of shoes, and I have to walk a funny way so they don't get wrinkles.
You don't want to crease those boys.
Yeah, so it's like, nah, if I gotta walk a certain way, I just get Converse or Vans.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say definitely Jordans would be top tier for me. What's your worst and favorite in NBA shoe?
Well, this isn't that answering
Sports
that
shoe,
question,
I'm
but
sorry.
I had a pair of Dwight Howard's. They just got absolutely destroyed.
What company was he with?
Adidas. They were decent shoes. Actually, they weren't because they got torn up on the bottom, like from playing after one season. And I was just playing on a normal hardwood floor. So it's kind of crazy how short they lasted. But I would say my least favorites are... There's somebody who has some real ugly shoes. Oh, maybe like Tony Parker's... What's that brand called? It's like... I think it's a French brand. Fila or...
Filas?
Yeah, Fila.
I didn't even know Tony Parker had.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They looked like nursing home shoes.
That's hilarious. I didn't even know about this.
Yeah, they're pretty hideous.
Wow. That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know Tony. Wow, you're teaching me a lot. I didn't even know these people had shoes.
You'd be surprised how many people have their like deals with shoe companies.
I think the key word is had, but yeah.
Yeah. My favorites, some of my favorites were, I liked the KD5s a lot.
Yeah, they were nice.
I loved the KD. I'm pretty sure it's the 5s. I loved those. It could have been the 4s, 5s or 6, but I loved all those. What's another one? I think those were probably my favorite, the KD5s. Nice. They're just like a clean, classic basketball shoe, not too flashy. Oh, the Kyrie, I can't remember what year model they are, but Kyrie Irving has some cool shoes.
Nice.
At least some of his older ones. I don't really know what his newer ones look like.
Okay. I'll definitely have to go back and check out these Filas, Tony Parker's.
They were all black.
All right. I will definitely make sure I check those out.
Oh, yeah.
Joseph, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. Is there anything you would like to say to your fans?
I love all my fans, and that's about all I got to say.
All right.
Very profound.
Thank you again for coming on the show, and thank you guys. Have an amazing day.